board gaming is as prone to fads as anything else. Trends that dominate for a while and then disappear, leaving only the best examples of that fad as reminders that it ever existed. One trend that seems to have more stamina than many, though, is the trend for games to be luxury products. Cram a box full of as many plastic dildos as you can so your customers can participate in the grand bourgeois tradition of demonstrating how much disposable income they have. Your customers can be the envy of the Facebook group by spaffing 500 quid on a tower of boxes they'll never bloody open. It's art as acquisition, a way to declare how wealthy you are without being gauche enough to actually just declare it. Prey to the venal weakness of those who think that buying power is an achievement and you'll make a boatload of cash. Who gives a flying porcupine if it's any good or not? People are only buying the game for the photo on social media anyway. It's also bloody obvious and pointless. Board games are primarily mechanical works. They exist in the mind of the creator and the players. The pieces on the board, there to track what you've done and to remind you what you've yet to do. I mean, I like a nice picture and a bit of gold frogging as much as the next bloke, but I find it deeply depressing that games are just becoming another accessory for the unthinkingly bourgeois. Something to go alongside your 20 grand sofa and your 5 grand fridge and your endless whining about diversity while people are getting priced out of the art form that is about human interaction. Still, it was never about social justice, but about being the right type of person. That person has to be defiantly middle class. This is why, when I see a publisher that focuses on game design, on intricately fitting mechanisms together to make a brilliantly tooled machine while making a product that looks and feels professional without aping a Trump bathroom, I have to applaud them. It's about the game, you see, not about the bank balance of the player. Resafa is a mechanically rigorous game in a classic Euro style with production to match. You should play this one and reward a publisher that thinks more about the depth of the game than the depth of your pocket. Resafa is a game of ingenious construction that connects disparate components into a cohesive whole. There are various areas of the board that yield points for completing different tasks, and the game consists in the efficient completion of these tasks. These consist of selling goods, constructing canals, planting gardens, and building workshops. All of this is fairly standard stuff, but it's the way that the designer Vladimir Suchy succeeds in making them feel of a piece that is so impressive. He connects them with a deceptively simple card system that results in a game that is challenging and coherent. I've played many games that fall into the point salad category. Games that are Skinner boxes that try and punch your hypothalamus so it'll hand over those chemicals that make you feel good. The issue with many of these games, though, is that of cohesion. Bitoku is a fine example of this. You can do a load of stuff on your turn on any part of the board you want. These actions can give you a hatful of points, but none of the parts of the board connect to one another. There's no sense that the action I perform now will have any ramifications down the line. You just do stuff and score points. It fails to understand that it's not the receiving of points that is satisfying, but the culmination of the work done to receive those points that makes their pursuit compelling. Resafa understands this. Resafa is a unified experience that offers the players potential rewards for good planning and pays those rewards out if the players are successful. Resafa is a well-designed multiplayer solitaire Eurogame in the classic mould. If games that value design are your thing, then you'll like Resafa. If games that don't let you ruin your opponent's day or have your day ruined for you are your thing, then you'll like Resafa. If solid Eurogames are your thing, well then you'll like Resafa. In Resafa, we take on the roles of merchants trading in the eponymous city and helping to build the irrigation and water courses that will make the area habitable. So yes, this is a Eurogame. Yes, it has a classical backdrop. Yes, this has been done before. And yes, this might not be your thing. But if you go on the internet and assert that this constitutes some kind of moral failing in the game, as many on the internet do, you can take your ineffective, performative virtue, roll it into a little ball and force it past your sphincter and into your alimentary canal. I'm truly done with these arseholes trying to insert themselves as the moral arbiters of our hobby. If your activism is on the internet, you're all part of the slurry. Wind your fucking neck in. There are various projects that we can undertake in a game of Resafa, and all of these will result in our token creeping up the victory point track. All of these goals are advanced by deploying multi-use action cards in the correct order. Play a card and build a building, a stretch of canal, plant a garden or sell some wine. There are 2 main actions on each card, but only one can be performed before the whole card is discarded, so there's a dilemma here. As Resafa is a game of efficiency, it is the order in which you deploy these actions which will maximise your scoring potential. Each action is paired with a colour. These are separate actions you can take to gain bonuses or climb up tracks that will give you improved actions or powerful end-of-game goals. You play 6 rounds, and after every even-numbered round, you get rewarded for the contribution you've made to the canal system of the area. At the end of the game, points are awarded for various achievements, and the player with the most points wins. On a first play, Resafa can feel quite open and sandboxy. Play it a few times though, and you'll realise how tightly designed the game is. Board games should not be Skinner boxes. They should not be there to reward your participation. That kind of reward becomes very old very quickly. Resafa is a game that rewards good play, and you'll be better equipped to perform that play the more you engage with it. Also, Resafa has that thing that all great Eurogames have. It tantalises you into thinking you can solve it, but when you reach the end, you'll see a catalogue of errors, things you wish you'd done and are desperate to fix the next time you play. It's a moorishness earned through failure. Resafa invites you to get better at it and makes that improvement a lot of fun. Playing the other night, I was reminded that I'm sometimes bamboozled by the sheer skill that goes into these designs. I voiced this thought to the people around the table and was greeted with a chorus of nods. Resafa is one of these games, so seemingly complex, yet such a pleasure to interact with that I'm left scratching my head at how someone could design something so good. The engine of the game is the action cards. Great games offer the players dilemmas, and it is the player's job to turn those dilemmas into opportunity. Having the card offer more than one action is a wonderful dilemma for the players to confront. On top of that, the colour action adds another layer of decision making that leaves you biting your lip in thought. Do I play this for its colour? Do I eschew the colours altogether in pursuit of my one goal? Balancing these dilemmas is the challenge here, and one that is great fun to confront. This is repeated every time you're called upon to play a card, and that's very compelling. Resafa is a game of focus. You can win the game by following one path, but you're compelled to take detours into other areas of the game to optimise the path you wish to take. You have to build a certain amount of gardens to allow you to build the canals that you want. You have to construct workshops to give you the money to build the trade network you want. You cannot simply be monomaniacal here. It is a sign of the game's cohesiveness that you have to use all areas of the board to succeed, though you will find yourself focusing on one primarily. Nothing is extraneous in Resafa. The mechanisms are judiciously deployed and all players interact with them to a greater or lesser degree during the game. Resafa is a game that relies on its design, not its flash. It is a modest production, though one that perfectly serves its purpose. It is a game that wants you to interact with its ideas, not be wowed by the industrial techniques used to make it look nice. This is to be hugely commended. Don't expect loads of interaction with your opponents though. The only interaction with your opponents may be them taking the bonus cards you want. I have always loved multiplayer solitaire games, but if contention with those bastards across the table is your thing, well then you won't find it here. Resafa has been fashioned by one of the modern masters of Euro design, and he wants you to dig into it, not use it as a display piece. This is a game for people that love classic feeling Euro games, and I'm definitely one of those people. Thank you for watching. You can like the video if you liked the video. You could sub to the channel. Down below you'll find a link to the best Discord in gaming and to my merch store where there is loads of cool stuff, including a t-shirt that says Bell End on it. You can even help to make these videos by going to patreon.com/5G4D and backing the show like these lovely people. Right, I'm off to demonstrate my wealth by buying a £3 sandwich rather than a £2.50 one.